What does this mean? Any idea? Coming together of the two hands, or all of us?
We are all one.
We are all one. Anything else? Samskar. We are humble. Yes. Very recently, this gesture of Indian culture has been recognized as a very, very important gesture in UN conference. And they said the meaning of Namaskara is that the soul within me bows before the soul within you. Yeah? That is our culture. And when I start with this beautiful topic for today, strategies and action plans for sustainable development in higher education, I start backwards. What is education? And to be more precise with this audience, what is higher education? In the precincts of a college, is it higher education? What I said, was it higher or lower? Was it educated? What is education? No research paper on this? What is education? Educating ourselves, getting educated, means we are moving from a lower plane to a higher plane of evolution, of self-actualization. Necessarily, it need not be with degrees or medals. So I believe all of us are at that higher platform of education. And therefore I do not say the dignitaries on the dais and off the dais. I would say educationists to the core. Athva shikshana abhimanigalu, ee bhaga, aa bhaga, ellaru seri now onde. Let us start with that platform. Sustainable development. We are trying to think today for strategies for sustainable development. What is sustainable? What sustains? Right? The breath sustains us. The moment you stop, what sustains a higher education? Sorry? Continual improvement sustains higher education. Otherwise, you stench, you stink, you stagnate, you die. Are we ready for that? Are we really sustaining ourselves? Or are we just pulling along? Chalta hai. Chalta raho. Right? Time to think, yes. Because of today's globalized world, competition is huge. And if we have to survive and sustain, we have to continually improve. And how do we improve? Will somebody on this side of the dais tell us, now you do this 1, 2, 3 strategy, therefore you will improve? Or you need to think about yourself, because each individual is so unique. Each institution is unique. Each entity is unique and has to evolve its own developmental strategy. But at the same time, everything should be in unison, should be in a positive direction. That is sustainable. Otherwise, it is destructive. Just the opposite. I'll give an example. You have an egg. You leave that egg to hatch. The force from within breaks into what? Life. A chick comes out. You break it. What happens? Life is over. What does it mean? Should we allow the inner force to grow by itself and then sustain as life? Or should we break from above, the pressure from above? Unfortunately, our education system, whether primary, secondary or higher, is banging from above. The teacher tells the student, do this, don't do this. Am I right? I'm blaming myself, nobody else. We, the administrators, policy, analysts, all of us have to be blamed. But no use blaming. If you want to sustain, let's grow out of it. Grow out with our own inner force. With conviction, the force of conviction which will never die because it is coming from within. And I'm sure platforms like this are there to inspire and kindle that inner strength which all of us have in plenty. It just needs to come out. Finally, coming to the strategies and action plan. I'm so happy to see that we are not saying the research, or the paper on this subject and end of the story. International conference held, 450 papers received, beautiful, clap, finish. No. If we really have to do something worthwhile for sustainability and for higher evolution, it must be continual improvement in terms of action, not just paper. And that's what we as government officials are always blamed. They're all paper tigers. They don't do actions are something far, far away from them. Well, yes, I take that criticism, but not that everybody is in the same loop. There are people, there are departments, there are programs which are action oriented, and we all get the benefit of that. And certainly there is much more to do. But when I speak as an administrator in this academic fora, all I need to say is that as academicians, as students, as researchers, there's a lot of thinking that goes into it. So would have gone in this particular international seminar as well. What if that thinking doesn't get implemented? 50 recommendations, maybe 5 are worth implementing, and they may come out with good outcomes worth implementing them. And I was so happy that your organization's head have said that the new university that is going to come up will take all the good recommendations that you people come out with. I'm so happy. And that is sustainable. And I'm sure there will be no doubt of its higher growth, which will be, again, for the benefit of you and me all. Finally, I would like to introduce one subject that we have introduced from the Department of Administrative Reforms, Government of Karnataka. It's one of its kind in the entire country, where we are inviting people from any field, particularly from the higher education, asking them for coming and joining the government and the Department of Administrative Reforms as volunteers, as interns. I have got many students from within the state. Not only within the state, I have Delhi School of Economics student coming in, IIT Madras coming in, and not to leave, the French government coming and saying 100 interns will be sent to you, to Karnataka alone, to work in different departments. The opportunity that we are going to afford to them is that every student has certain inclination, interest, and ideas, creative ideas. Allow them to give that opportunity to think about it, to see, feel, and then come out with some good strategies wherever he or she feels that things are not in order. I just mentioned that we all criticize government for its failures. How many of us actually contribute to fill up that gap, right? Recently we have the website started by the Prime Minister, MyGov. How many of you have seen that? And a beautiful, on WhatsApp, there is a small clip which says, oh, Ganga is not clean, this is not there. Then they say, enough of not. Let's say what I can do for it. And one person says, I'm a designer. One person says, I'm an environmentalist. One person says, I'm so-and-so. And I will give this project, I will do this, I will do that. And in the whole thing, the only thing we are rich in India is human resource. But the only thing we are poor is we don't use that human resource. It's time first of all, we realize the human resource that we have, and we use it to its maximum potential. Even sky is not the limit. All the best.